Hey guys, it's Brendan the Paleo Dude, and welcome back to another Jurassic World video. Today we'll be taking a look at all of the new Jurassic World Hammond collection figures that have just released in Target. These are phenomenal and probably some of the best that Mattel has ever produced. These figures range from this small Stygimoloch all the way to the gargantuan Spinosaurus. The molds on these ones are very, very anatomically accurate and match up with the movie counterparts really well, minus the blue missing on the Spinosaurus sail. That is the only nitpick with the Spinosaurus figure that I personally have. The Raptors are fantastic. These guys are based on the Jurassic Park, the Lost World coloration, and they are phenomenal. The one thing that I'd love to see on them is just a little bit more white on the side of the belly there, but besides that, they are perfect. The head sculpt is fantastic. I love the eyes. You can see there's a little pupil there, and you got to make sure when you're shopping for these guys that the jaw isn't super extended, and sometimes if you do get one with a very long jaw, you can actually, there's a little hair in its mouth, you can actually push it in if you kind of push on the jaw back and up into the socket, because if you see, there's a little peg back there that goes into the hole, and sometimes that can be dislodged or not put in properly. Sometimes it just needs to be pushed back in. And yeah, no, the teeth on this guy are fantastic. Very sharp, very nicely defined. Better than the previous Velociraptor figures. Same with the feet. They're a lot smaller than previous Velociraptor figures as well. This one has paint detailing on the lower parts of the leg and even the lower parts of the arm. The articulation in the tail is fantastic as usual. It's rubbery with a little metal rod in there. And these guys are great for pack building. They're some of the best raptors we've seen in the Hammond collection so far. And the best iteration of the Lost World raptors. We've seen previous ones from the Legacy collection. Camp Cretaceous also had some, which were really nice. But, of course, these are hyper-articulated and have some phenomenal sculpt details as well. The Troodon is my favorite Jurassic Park dinosaur. This guy was featured in the Telltale games, and oh my goodness, it is so cool. I wish they would have had the teeth interlocking outside of the mouth, which would have been accurate to the game, but I do appreciate that they have the quills and that white eyeball. The eyes could also be a bit bigger, but I'm just glad that they made them white. That's a great detail that they did not include in their previous Troodon figure, which had more likeness to the Telltale game because it had red, or I guess in this case pink, on the underbelly, whereas this figure just has this white instead of red. I would have liked to see that instead of the orange on the back, which is not accurate to the game, also on the snout. And a little bit of quills on the tail, which they did have. I think that would have rounded out the figure and made it look absolutely perfect. Now this is really big for Troodon Telltale style. They should be half the size of a Velociraptor, but I feel like they went with the Jurassic Park Live Tour proportions when it comes to size and head sculpt, which is fine. I think Live Tour is canon or loose canon, and Telltale was supposed to be canon, but I feel like a lot of people say it's more like loose canon or expanded canon, so it's just nice to see that Mattel, they see that the fans love this dinosaur and they included it in some capacity in the Hammond collection lineup. Now I hope they make the Herrerasaurus as well as the Tylosaurus. That would be incredible if they adapted those into the Hammond collection lineup. I would lose my mind. So these guys are great for pack building, very cute. And of course, the Spinosaurus itself is an absolute beast of a figure. This one is massive, almost as long as the Giganotosaurus figure. Just the Giga has a longer tail, and height-wise, this guy is around the same size as the Giga, so it is quite a large figure. You can see the head is super detailed and very accurate to what we see in the movies. A very nice green eye. And of course the teeth inside of the mouth are rubbery, so they can have them be extra sharp and get those details in as well. The neck has these really nice alligator-like scales that continue down the side of the body, and the sail has some nice patterning on it with these zigzags. Again, it doesn't have the blue, unfortunately, which would have made it absolutely perfect, but nothing a good airbrush can't fix. The tail is rubbery and has, again, a metal wire in it, so you can bend it around to different positions. And the arms also have a lot of articulation. They have 3 points. Claws are huge on this figure. They're a little bit rubbery, so you can kind of squish them around, but they did paint the nails on the hands and the feet, of course. They are missing the paint on this little dew claw, which they have painted on previous Hammond collection dinosaurs of this size. So it's interesting that they kind of, I guess, forgot to do that on the Spinosaurus. But nonetheless, this figure is just incredible to have. Stunning visually and very imposing on the shelf. Now, this figure that I got specifically had a little bit of paint issues on the tail. You can see there is some like major scuffing right here, and I'm not sure why. Might have been from rubbing on the box or the packaging itself. But yeah, it has some paint missing there, and there's a little bit more paint errors here and there, like on the sail here. There's some black, and then I think there's some on the sail here, some white. So sometimes it's hit or miss. The second Spinosaurus figure that I got up here is flawless. It does not have any paint defects or errors, which is really great. So I will be using this paint error Spino to take out and do photography with and bring everywhere. So it's definitely going to get more scuffed up from travel and whatnot. They did end up getting 5 of the Troodon, which will be great for photography as well, as it is a very scary, interesting dinosaur from the franchise. And I love the Stygimoloch. It has great detail and anatomical accuracy, but I only ended up getting 1 because I don't really need a bunch of them, and there's only 1 in the film. I think photography with this guy would be really fun, especially with the brick wall scene, him bashing through with the dome skull. So that would be cool to recreate in some capacity, but definitely love the Lost World Raptors. They are some of the best that we've got so far, and I can't wait to get out and do some photography in the woods with them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this overview of all of the latest Hammond collection dinosaurs. I cannot wait for the Stegosaurus to come out. I would love to get my hands on that one. I think I'll have to get 3 of them to make a nice, decent herd for Lost World photography. But yeah, they haven't hit the shelves in the US yet, as of what I know. I just got back recently from a trip to the US, so that's where I found these guys, and I have no clue if they're coming to Canada. I think you can pre-order the Spinosaurus on Walmart Canada, so keep an eye out for that one if you live up here. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely check out my previous ones if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.